In this video, by popular demand, I'm going to show you how to use the little Lewis dot editor in SmartWork here. So you log in. This is my view, so I get to see all the chapters. We'll getting familiar with question types. So this is kind of an opportunity to practice. I'll skip the basic drawing one, and we'll look at the one that has charges and Lewis dots. So this should kind of cover everything. And so the first trick is, and this is a practice one, so they're going to show you the structure to draw, and you can feel free to launch this in your browser and follow along if you want. But that's kind of the key thing is you should know what you're drawing first. So you want to work it out on paper. Don't try to just work it out on the little tool here, because sometimes there's a weird thing with the utility, and sometimes it helps to start over and just try again from scratch. And so you want to know what you're drawing and just figure out how to get it into the program. That's my first piece of advice. Okay, so in the little tool here, there's a number of things you'll see, and we'll kind of go through. So there's kind of some stuff over here. There's the elements over here, and so for example, we've got this BH4 thing, but we'll start out with something else. So like if I want carbon, I just click carbon. I click over here. If I want a different element in its place, I can click on it and do that. And then what I can do is I can choose another element. If I want it to be bonded, so like let's say I do want carbon there, I can just click and drag away with the other element. And then here's a really cool thing. So, it's not super clean. Maybe, my lines get a little bit weird. I can use this utility over here, and it will kind of clean things up. So sometimes something looks right from your perspective, and you hit clean, and you realize that there's a line going in the wrong place. And so sometimes if you feel like you put the right structure in and it's not accepting it, and then maybe it's the right structure because you verified with another source, and it's not accepting it, you hit that clean button and you'd be surprised what comes up sometimes. And sometimes actually you hit the clean button and it accepts it, so I don't know. It is a little finicky, just bear with it. Now let's say I didn't want to do that. Well, I have undo, I have redo. I can zoom in using this tool right here. And what else have we got here? I can choose different types of bonds here. If I click the little arrow in the bottom right, I can go double bonds. Look at that. That should make no sense, by the way. But, just to demonstrate what we can do, you can have triple bonds as well, because, hydrogen loves making those triple bonds. And then if I ever have to label charges, I can grab this, plus tool for positive charges, this minus tool for minus charges, and usually this is for like formal charges. And so this is just a crazy compound to show the tools, but I can go +1, +2, +3. I just keep clicking, it just keeps going up. And let's say I miss too much. Well, there's a delete tool, but the delete tool only works on elements and bonds. So I can delete a bond, I can delete an element, but I can't delete the charge. So what I have to do is either start over, I'll show the button for that in a little bit, or I can pick the opposite charge. Now I can bring it down one at a time. So now it's +4, +3, +2, +1, all the way to 0, and I can start adding negative charges. I can start going the other way. I can also add lone pairs. Hydrogen loves its lone pairs. Look at all those lone pairs. And again, if you go too far, you can just keep going and it will clear out, and then you can, it's like eyes and looking around. It's all suspicious. All right, anyway, you can just keep adding lone pairs so you have the right amount, and it just cycles through. And so if you miss, just keep clicking until it, circles back around. So 4 is the max. And so those are pretty much tools. I really don't know what rectangle is for exactly, to be honest. I don't know that one. And then the other thing is, so there's some elements here. Oh, before I forget. So I showed the delete, but there's also clear all. So if things are just really bad, you just want to completely start over, you don't have to delete piece by piece, you can just hit clear all. But let's see. We have not all of the elements listed, just the common ones. Now you notice this is BH4 with a minus charge on the B, so let's actually build that now. And so I have to go in here and I get the whole periodic table if I just click this periodic table button right here. And there's my boron, right where I'd expect it to be. Okay, I need to add 4 H's to it, all single bonded. Okay. And I need a minus charge on the B, and so that is how I go about that process. And I'll clean it up too. And I would submit the answer, but come on, we know it's beautiful. So, oh, and then mouse wheel scrolls. I forgot about that earlier. Okay, so we go on down part 2. We've got something with lone pairs and charges. So I'm going to have a carbon, I'm going to have an oxygen, and I'm going to drag the oxygen off the carbon so that they are bonded, but then I have to turn that into a triple bond. So I select triple bond over here. I make sure that the bond I want to change is highlighted green. I click on it. I'll zoom in. I'll make this a little bit larger. And what else do we need to do? Well, we got the bonding structure, but we need lone pairs. So I put one on the oxygen, one on the carbon. And let's see, it's asking for a minus charge on the carbon and a plus charge on the oxygen. And so that should do it. All right. Part 3. Okay, no charges, just a lot of lone pairs. Okay, so I've got sulfur in the middle, so I'm going to start there. We'll zoom in a little bit early this time. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 fluorines. Oh, we can clean that up. Look at that. Okay, got to zoom back in though. All right, and now we're just going to be adding lone pairs. So I need 1 on the sulfur. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 on each of the fluorines. All right, now let's submit the answer. I bet I got them all. Look at that. Okay, so feel free to launch this problem on your browser and make sure that the tools are making sense. If you're struggling, this is a good opportunity to just kind of practice, practice, practice. And if it's still not making sense, or if there's a problem that you're pretty sure you have right and SmartWorks isn't accepting it, just contact me, let me know. I can let you know if SmartWorks is being really weird or if there's something I can point you in the right direction on. Because like I said, these can be a little finicky sometimes. And so I really do recommend that kind of cleanup tool just to make sure everything's where you think it is, because sometimes the lines get really weird. All right, so I hope this helps. And again, this is question 9 in the getting familiar with SmartWork 5 question types. So if there's any other SmartWork entry things I can help out with, just let me know. I can always make another video. And again, take a shot at it, make sure it's making sense.